Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Don't Worry Darling, starring Florence Pugh, Harry Styles, Chris Pine, Olivia Wilde, and a ton of other great actors who are in Olivia Wilde's second ever directorial film. Unfortunately, this film, unlike Booksmart, is a lot less than the sum of its parts, as it tries to pull from partway from The Truman Show, partway from The Matrix, and even partway from Sword Art Online, which ultimately leads to a film that feels like every single thing that it tries to do was done better by the things that influenced it. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story takes place in the community of Victory, where it seems like the Victory Project that's taking place within it is something of the utmost importance to the men of the community. We follow Alice and Jack, played by Harry Styles and Florence Pugh, who basically get to go through a very basic routine when it comes to their days. While Jack goes with the other men to work on this victory project, Alice gets to hang around with the other women of the community, and they get to hang around the pool, go shopping, they get to cook for their husbands, and, just do the 1950s idyllic lifestyle. Something simple, something plain, but something that's relaxing. But when Alice starts to see cracks in the community, and when she starts to see that it isn't all it's hyped up to be, she starts to wonder if she's actually looking into reality, or if this is all just an illusion. Now, the marketing of the film certainly did make it seem like it could go either way when it comes to whether it was actually in the 1950s, or whether there was something more sinister going on. But the film really does make it a little too obvious when it comes to something going on. Mainly because it really only shows off the idyllic moments during the first 10 to 15 minutes of the film before something crazy happens that makes you realize, oh, this place is messed up. And then it seemingly forgets about those moments for a good portion of the film before it decides to bring them up again. It really feels inconsistent with its tone in that sense, and that's not even getting to how some of the twists are handled. Not only are they twists that have been done far better in films like The Matrix and The Truman Show, and even in something like Bolt, but even the way it's done here feels like it's done to make the character less likable and less interesting than how they were beforehand, as opposed to the other way around. Which ultimately leads to a finale that's so freaking ridiculous, I almost expected it to be the opening to a Mad Max film. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you'll know it when you see it when you get to that part in the film. It is unfortunate, especially considering that the actors who are in the film certainly try their hardest with the roles they're given. Harry Styles, Chris Pine, Florence Pugh, Olivia Wilde, Kiki Payne, Gemma Chan, these are all great actors and actresses who are clearly trying their hardest with their very one-dimensional roles. It's just the script gives them absolutely nothing to work with half the time. I often say you can have the best production designer of the bunch, and you can have some of the best actors in the business, but if your script is this obvious and this utterly basic, there's little that they can do to liven it up. And unfortunately, that is the case here. Which is odd, considering that Booksmart, also done by Olivia Wilde, was a lot more clever than this, from what I remember. And I don't know if it was just a ton of rewrites, or if it was just a draft that didn't work when another draft would have been better, but it's bad. And that's unfortunate, considering that I think that this idea could have been done a lot better if it was just done with better execution. But as it stands, I think it's one of the biggest disappointments of 2022. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. See you next time.